Have you ever felt inexplicably drawn to someone? A connection so profound it feels like you've known them your entire life. Or, conversely, have you felt drained, diminished, or even manipulated by a relationship, despite your best efforts to make it work? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating intersection of spirituality and quantum consciousness to explore the dynamics of friendships, particularly the critical importance of recognizing and releasing toxic connections to make space for the soulmates who are truly meant to be in our lives. The concept of soulmates isn't limited to romantic relationships. In fact, soulmate connections can exist in friendships, family, and even professional relationships. These are the individuals who resonate with our deepest values, challenge us to grow, and support us unconditionally on our life's journey. But to welcome these enriching connections, we often need to clear out the energetic clutter of relationships that no longer serve our highest good. This isn't about blame or judgment. It's about recognizing that some relationships, despite our best intentions, can become toxic, hindering our personal and spiritual growth. The philosophical roots of understanding relationships can be traced back to ancient wisdom traditions. Eastern philosophies like Buddhism and Hinduism emphasize the interconnectedness of all beings, highlighting the concept of karma and the idea that we attract individuals into our lives who reflect our own energetic state. These traditions suggest that challenging relationships often present opportunities for learning and growth, prompting us to examine our own patterns and beliefs. Similarly, Western philosophical traditions, from Plato's concept of ideal forms to Jung's theory of archetypes, explore the idea that certain relationships resonate with deeper, more fundamental aspects of our being. Plato, in The Symposium, describes the soul's longing for completion, suggesting that relationships could be a path to understanding ourselves and the universe. Carl Jung, in his work on archetypes and the collective unconscious, proposes that we are all connected through a shared reservoir of human experience, influencing our relationships and our understanding of ourselves. In modern spiritual thought, the concept of energetic alignment plays a central role in understanding relationship dynamics. Authors like Marianne Williamson and Deepak Chopra emphasize the power of intention and the law of attraction, suggesting that we attract individuals into our lives who vibrate at a similar energetic frequency. This perspective highlights the importance of cultivating positive thoughts and emotions to attract healthy and supportive relationships. The idea of soul contracts is also prevalent in many spiritual circles, suggesting that we enter into agreements with certain souls before birth to learn specific lessons and support each other's growth. These contracts aren't necessarily binding for life. They can be fulfilled or renegotiated as we evolve and change. Quantum physics, while seemingly unrelated to spirituality, offers a fascinating lens through which to understand the nature of reality and our interconnectedness. The principle of quantum entanglement, for example, suggests that two particles can be linked in such a way that they instantaneously affect each other, regardless of the distance separating them. This phenomenon has been interpreted by some as evidence of a deeper, underlying interconnectedness that transcends the limitations of space and time. Similarly, the observer effect in quantum mechanics suggests that the act of observation can influence the behavior of quantum systems, raising questions about the role of consciousness in shaping reality. While it's important to avoid oversimplifying or misinterpreting quantum physics, these concepts can provide a new framework for understanding the subtle energies that influence our relationships. So, how do we identify a toxic friendship and, more importantly, how do we release it with grace and compassion? Toxic friendships are characterized by a consistent pattern of negativity, manipulation, or emotional drain. These friends may constantly criticize or belittle you, compete with you rather than support you, or consistently demand your attention and energy without offering anything in return. They may engage in gossip, drama, or other destructive behaviors that leave you feeling depleted and emotionally exhausted. It's important to distinguish between a temporary rough patch in a friendship and a consistently toxic pattern. All relationships have their ups and downs, but a healthy friendship is characterized by mutual respect, trust, and support. Releasing a toxic friendship can be a challenging but ultimately liberating experience. It's crucial to approach the situation with clarity and compassion, both for yourself and for the other person. Start by setting clear boundaries. This may involve limiting your contact with the friend, declining invitations to activities that drain your energy, or asserting your needs and boundaries directly. It's important to communicate your boundaries assertively but kindly, avoiding accusations or blame. You might say something like, "I value our friendship, but I need to create more space for myself right now. I won't be able to attend the party next week, but I wish you all the best." In some cases, a direct conversation may be necessary to address the issues in the friendship. This could be a difficult conversation, but it can also be an opportunity for growth and healing. Choose a time and place where you can both speak openly and honestly without distractions. Express your feelings calmly and respectfully, focusing on your own experience rather than blaming the other person. Use "I" statements to communicate your needs and boundaries. For example, instead of saying, "You always criticize me," you might say, "I feel hurt when I hear critical comments about my choices." Be prepared for the possibility that the other person may not be receptive to your feedback. It's important to remain grounded in your own truth and to prioritize your own well-being. Sometimes, the most compassionate thing you can do is to distance yourself from the friendship entirely. This doesn't necessarily mean ending the friendship abruptly or dramatically. It may simply involve gradually reducing your contact with the person until the friendship naturally fades away. It's important to trust your intuition and to listen to your inner guidance. If a relationship consistently leaves you feeling drained, diminished, or emotionally unsafe, it may be time to let it go. Releasing toxic friendships isn't about being selfish or unkind. It's about prioritizing your own well-being and creating space for healthier, more supportive relationships to enter your life. It's about recognizing that you deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift you, inspire you, and support your growth. As you release these toxic connections, you'll create a void in your life, an energetic space that can be filled with new possibilities and new connections. This is where the magic of soulmates comes in. Soulmates aren't necessarily romantic partners. They can be friends, family members, mentors, or even acquaintances who resonate with your soul on a deep level. These are the individuals who see you for who you truly are, who accept you unconditionally, and who inspire you to become the best version of yourself. They may challenge you to grow, but they always do so with love and compassion. They may not always agree with you, but they always respect your perspective. They are the people who make you feel seen, heard, and understood. Attracting soulmate friendships requires cultivating a strong sense of self-love and self-worth. When you value yourself, you naturally attract individuals who value you as well. It's important to be authentic and genuine in your interactions with others. Don't try to be someone you're not to impress others. Instead, be true to yourself and let your unique qualities shine through. This will attract people who are genuinely drawn to your authentic self. It's also important to be open and receptive to new connections. Step outside of your comfort zone and explore new activities and interests. Join clubs, attend workshops, or volunteer for causes that you care about. This will expose you to new people who share your passions and values. Be proactive in initiating conversations and building relationships. Don't be afraid to reach out to people who you admire or who you feel a connection with. Remember, attracting soulmate friendships is a process that takes time and effort. It's not always easy to find people who resonate with your soul on a deep level. But with patience, persistence, and a genuine commitment to self-love, you can create a network of supportive and fulfilling friendships that enrich your life in countless ways. Consider the story of Sarah, who spent years in a friendship that consistently left her feeling drained and undervalued. Her friend, Emily, was constantly critical of Sarah's choices, often making snide remarks about her career, her relationships, and even her appearance. Sarah tried to address the issues with Emily, but her attempts were met with defensiveness and denial. Over time, Sarah realized that the friendship was taking a toll on her self-esteem and her overall well-being. With great difficulty, Sarah decided to distance herself from Emily. She gradually reduced her contact with her, focusing her energy on nurturing her other friendships and pursuing her own interests. Initially, Sarah felt guilty and uncertain about her decision. But as time passed, she began to feel a sense of relief and liberation. She realized that she had been sacrificing her own happiness for the sake of maintaining a friendship that was no longer serving her. As Sarah created space in her life, she began to attract new friendships that were more supportive and fulfilling. She met people who celebrated her successes, who encouraged her dreams, and who accepted her unconditionally. She realized that she deserved to be surrounded by people who uplifted her and inspired her to be her best self. Another example is Mark, who had a close friend named David since childhood. As they grew older, their paths diverged, and their values and interests began to clash. David became increasingly negative and cynical, often complaining about his job, his relationships, and the state of the world. Mark tried to offer support and encouragement, but David seemed resistant to any positive change. Mark found himself feeling drained and discouraged by David's constant negativity. He realized that the friendship was no longer serving his own growth and well-being. Mark decided to have an honest conversation with David about his concerns. He expressed his love and appreciation for their friendship, but he also explained that he needed to create more space for himself and for his own positive growth. David was initially hurt and defensive, but he eventually came to understand Mark's perspective. They agreed to remain friends, but to spend less time together and to focus on maintaining a positive and respectful relationship. Mark used the extra time and energy to pursue his passions and to connect with new people who shared his interests. He found that as he focused on his own well-being, he attracted more positive and fulfilling relationships into his life. The scientific evidence supporting the connection between social relationships and well-being is extensive. Studies have shown that strong social connections are associated with improved physical health, mental health, and longevity. Conversely, social isolation and loneliness are linked to increased risk of chronic diseases, depression, and even premature death. A meta-analysis of over 148 studies, published in the journal PLOS Medicine, found that individuals with strong social relationships had a 50% greater likelihood of survival compared to those with weak social relationships. This effect was comparable to the effect of quitting smoking and exceeded the effect of many other well-established health interventions. From a neurological perspective, research suggests that social interactions activate reward centers in the brain, releasing neurotransmitters like dopamine and oxytocin, which promote feelings of pleasure, connection, and well-being. Conversely, social isolation and rejection can activate stress pathways in the brain, leading to increased levels of cortisol, a stress hormone that can have detrimental effects on physical and mental health. While the exact mechanisms underlying the relationship between social connections and well-being are still being investigated, the evidence clearly suggests that our relationships play a crucial role in our overall health and happiness. However, it's important to acknowledge the limitations of our current understanding. While scientific studies can provide valuable insights into the effects of social relationships on well-being, they cannot fully capture the complex and nuanced dynamics of human connection. The subjective experience of friendship, the role of individual differences, and the influence of cultural factors all contribute to the intricate tapestry of human relationships. Furthermore, the concept of soulmates, while widely embraced in spiritual circles, remains largely outside the realm of scientific investigation. It's important to approach this topic with an open mind, recognizing that there are aspects of human connection that may not be fully explained by current scientific models. In contemporary society, the importance of healthy relationships is increasingly recognized in various fields, from psychology and sociology to business and leadership. Therapists and counselors often emphasize the importance of setting boundaries, communicating assertively, and cultivating self-compassion in order to build and maintain healthy relationships. Businesses and organizations are increasingly recognizing the importance of fostering positive work environments that promote collaboration, respect, and mutual support. Leaders are encouraged to cultivate emotional intelligence and to build strong relationships with their team members. The rise of social media has also had a profound impact on the way we form and maintain relationships. While social media can provide opportunities for connecting with people from all over the world, it can also contribute to feelings of social isolation and loneliness. It's important to be mindful of the way we use social media and to prioritize real-life connections over virtual interactions. Emerging trends in technology, such as virtual reality and artificial intelligence, may also have implications for the future of relationships. While these technologies may offer new ways to connect with others, they also raise ethical questions about the nature of human connection and the potential for technology to replace or diminish the importance of real-life relationships. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, it's more important than ever to prioritize our relationships and to cultivate connections that nurture our souls. Releasing toxic friendships isn't about being unkind or judgmental. It's about recognizing that we deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift us, inspire us, and support our growth. It's about creating space for soulmate friendships to enter our lives, connections that resonate with our deepest values and that help us to become the best versions of ourselves. So, take a moment to reflect on your own friendships. Are there any relationships that consistently leave you feeling drained, diminished, or emotionally exhausted? Are there any patterns of negativity, manipulation, or emotional drain that you've noticed in your friendships? What steps can you take to set clear boundaries, communicate assertively, and prioritize your own well-being? And most importantly, what qualities do you seek in your soulmate friendships? What kind of connections would truly nourish your soul and help you to thrive? Thank you for joining me on this exploration of spirituality and quantum consciousness. I hope this video has provided you with valuable insights and practical tools for cultivating healthier, more fulfilling friendships. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe for more content on spirituality, personal growth, and the mysteries of the universe. I'd also love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. What are your biggest challenges when it comes to friendships? Have you ever experienced a soulmate friendship? What advice would you give to others who are struggling with toxic relationships? Let's create a supportive community where we can all learn and grow together. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time, keep shining your light and embracing the power of connection.